and your parents never spoke to you about dating and relationships, it was intentional. They wanted you naive and they didn't want you to know anything. They felt like you not knowing anything was supposed to preserve some level of purity. You not knowing how to navigate was supposed to protect you from people who already knew what to do. And I thought at first when I was younger that this wasn't the case, and maybe they will talk to me about it eventually, and it could be just me that I'm just... Coincidentally, your siblings, your male siblings, they're going to be dating somebody else's daughter. They're going to have the experience. They're going to know what to do. But your parents, they don't want you as a girl to know what to do. But your male siblings, they're always going to put on game. If you're a woman and your parents never spoke to you about dating and relationships, it was intentional. They wanted you naive and they didn't want you to know anything. They felt like you not knowing anything was supposed to preserve some level of purity. You not knowing how to navigate was supposed to protect you from people who already knew what to do. And I thought at first when I was younger that this wasn't the case, and maybe they will talk to me about it eventually, and it could be just me that I'm just overthinking it. I was about 11 years, probably like 9. I was like 9 years old. I used to share a bedroom with one of my siblings. And
withholding advice, withholding information, withholding the ability to guide and steer your daughter in the right direction is a form of sabotage. This is the way that a lot of jealous mothers or women who have, a feminine wound, who don't like their daughters, this is their way of repaying you for them having to deal with you. Yes, and you may be saying, but what do you mean deal with me? Deal with me, Mel. My mom chose to get pregnant with me. Yeah, but mothers who don't like their daughters feel like they had to deal with you. Meaning they didn't like you. They didn't want a baby girl. If they had to choose, they wouldn't pick a baby girl. They just don't like the maintenance that comes with having to deal with you, the competition, seeing you get older, seeing you have the opportunity to possibly make better decisions than them. So what do? They sabotage you. They sabotage you. They don't tell you anything. They don't teach you how to navigate through life. They want you to screw up and mess up so they don't have to worry about you getting ahead of them. It is a real thing. It is a wound. We will talk about this in the Wounded Masterclass, December 7th, 7 p.m. EST on Zoom. Women who have a feminine wound, this is what they do to their daughters. And women who have a mother wound go through life feeling very resentful towards their mothers because they didn't have any help. And when a woman fails to assist another woman in womanhood, that is also rejecting the divine feminine. We'll talk about that in the Divine Feminine Masterclass, December 14th. You need to understand what your role is as a woman while you're on this planet, and what your role is and how you can contribute to other women's womanhood. Let's get into it. The reality is some moms, they just don't like their daughters. They don't like them. From the moment their daughter was born, it was a problem. They don't like their daughters. They don't like women. They don't like their sisters. They don't like the female cashier. They don't like their daughter's friends. They don't like their grandmother. There are some women, their wounds for women is so deep that they just cannot stand their daughter. And a lot of daughters, it puts them in a difficult place because it's like, why doesn't my mom like me? Why doesn't my mom want to teach me how to do my hair? Why is it always the neighbor that has to do my hair? And every time I ask my mom to braid my hair, she says no. Why didn't my mom wasn't even present when I got my first period. She just threw a pad on my bed and said, put that on, and walked out of the room. Why does my mom act weird when I'm having dinner at the same time as her boyfriend? And then she makes me go and eat in my room because she doesn't want me to sit on the same table as her boyfriend. A lot of times these mothers, they view their daughters as competitors. And these women are they're gonna have a price to pay. Women who didn't do their job, meaning they allowed their wound to cause them to treat their daughter terribly, and they rejected the divine feminine, and they didn't do their job, and they didn't contribute to the divine feminine. Yeah, there's a price to pay for that. We'll talk about that price in the Divine Feminine Masterclass, where you're a woman on this earth. If you can help women through womanhood, if you can help women get through womanhood, if you can contribute positively to another woman, that gives you points. when it comes to the divine feminine and your contribution to it, because women are able to learn through you. You give tips and tricks. It could be something as simple as giving somebody a mini tip on putting their lip liner on at work. If you see that one girl at work, her lip liner is falling off, you can say, hey, can I give you a great recommendation, right? Or something as simple as teaching your daughter how to make food so she can eat and survive when she goes to college. She's not eating canned food and Burger King. But the reality is a lot of moms, they can't stand their daughters. They can't stand them. Can't stand them. And a lot of them think that the daughter doesn't realize it. She does. And then when the daughter gets older, they wonder why their daughter doesn't mess with them like that. They wonder why their daughter moved away to another country. It's because she doesn't like you. That's really what it is. She doesn't like you. Although she's older, she still remembers how you treated her when she was a little girl. And because of that, she doesn't really want you around. And that's when it becomes tough on the mom, because they want to patch things up. But a lot of times the daughter resents the mom because the daughter had to learn everything on their own and the mom wasn't around. So they don't want you to celebrate their wins with them. They just want to get away from you, right? So women who have a mother wound has dealt with a mother who kind of left them to fend for themselves, where them figuring out womanhood, they didn't have a mother that was there to help them figure out womanhood. They kind of had to figure it out themselves. And if a mother is active in her daughter's life, it's her job and contribution to the divine feminine for her to give her daughter all of the best teachings that she knows, so her daughter can take those teachings and make it work for her. A mother's influence on her daughter is very grand. But when a mother rejects the divine feminine and she's jealous of her daughter and she sees her daughter as a competitor and she doesn't like her daughter, what's going to happen is she's not going to teach you anything. Let me tell you, I have seen instances. I remember when I was a little girl, I had a friend, right? And sometimes I would go to this friend's house after school to just, hang out. We were like 13, 14 at the time. And I remember that, if her mom was making us sandwiches, like I would help out and, we would all help out. And her mother noticed how quick I was with my hands. And she's like, oh, wow, Mel, you must be like, you're really quick with your hands. Like, how did you learn how to do that? I said, well, my grandma taught me. I'm always in the kitchen with my grandma. So that's why I'm so quick with my hands. And she's like, wow. And I noticed that her mother, my friend's mother, was so warm and complimentary towards me, but very mean to my friend, which was her actual daughter. And I found that strange. Why are you nice to me, your daughter's friend, but you're not nice to your daughter? When a mother is a female narcissist, she will praise, love, and celebrate every other woman, but never her daughter. And it is done intentionally. She will not tell her daughter certain things. She will not give her daughters the tool of life because she wants her daughter to fail. Remember, you guys, I posted in the community page and I said a parent who's truly a good parent and a parent who is a secure parent desires for their daughter or their son to do better than them. Your mom should want you to do better than her. Your father should want you as a man, his son, to do better than him. Because when your kid does better than you, a lot of times as a parent, that reassures you that you did a good job. You don't have any remorse, regret. You don't ever have to beat yourself up because you're like, wow, I poured everything I could pour into my daughter. I gave her everything. I poured everything I could pour into my daughter. So therefore, when she accomplishes major goals, I'm going to really be able to take a deep breath and say, wow, it was worth it. It was worth it, right? Like I poured into my daughter the most I could, and she took what I taught her and she made the best out of it. But when a mother has a mother wound, meaning her mom hurt her, she's probably going to hurt her daughter too sometimes, not all the time. But if a woman has a feminine wound, right? And we'll talk about different wounds in Wounded, okay? Wounded is going to be December 4th at 7 p.m. EST on Zoom, Wounded. Any woman listening here that has a mother wound, any man listening here that has a mother wound, you need to sign up for that course. It's going to be very important. These type of moms who have a feminine wound, who are wounded, who have rejected the divine feminine, yes, we're going to talk about that in the Divine Feminine Masterclass. When you don't contribute and you don't contribute to the women around you, to your daughters, to your aunts, to the women around you, and give them the game, you're rejecting the Divine Feminine. And there is a price to pay for that. And that's why I always tell people, I don't lie to women. I don't give women fairy tales, because my contribution to the divine feminine will be accepted and it will be immaculate. I don't lie to women. I tell them the truth that they need to know, even if it's painful. But these mothers, they don't tell you anything. They don't even tell you how to do your hair, because they simply don't want to be involved in your progression as a woman. There are some women, their first enemy was their mom. Until this day, their enemy is still their mom. And those are some deep wounds to heal from. Let's keep going. Many women were dealing with mothers and women around them that didn't do their job as a woman. Do I believe that some mothers purposefully don't tell their daughters about life to set them up for failure? Absolutely. Because what we rarely talk about is how some women, their feminine wound, okay, when a woman has a feminine wound, she doesn't like women at all. Even women that even if she carried a baby girl for 9 months, that baby girl will be born and she will hate her from the moment she changes her first diaper. She does not like her baby girl. And many men can't wrap their head around this. Some of them don't notice that their wife doesn't like their daughter. Some of them are not present. They're absentee fathers, so they don't know. And then some fathers, they see it, but they don't know how to, men don't really know how to deal with that stuff. That's very touchy. A man doesn't know how to address his wife about the fact that his wife doesn't like their daughter, and he can see it. Most fathers will kind of ignore it because they can't even wrap their heads around how their own wife or girlfriend doesn't like their daughter. But it's a real thing. And when a mother views her daughter as a competitor, what's going to happen is she's not going to teach her daughter anything. She's purposefully going to withhold information from her daughter so that her daughter can fail. Let me explain something to you. When somebody doesn't prepare you, when someone has the tools, the mental notes, and the capacity to prepare you for something, and they purposefully don't, it's because they don't like you. That's why I always say women who go online and they don't prepare women for the real world, and they don't tell women the truth, they don't talk to women about the challenges that women will experience during womanhood, they don't help women understand the battles that they're.
If you don't resonate or align with my teachings, then my content is not for you. Avoid commenting, subscribing, or interacting. Instead, go to a page where you resonate. If you comment something foul, disrespectful, or like something foul or disrespectful, you will be blocked. I will also block you if you comment any contradictory to my message. I don't post for your agreement, so please think about that before you run and comment, I don't agree. Think about that. It doesn't matter. I post what I am led to post. Your agreement or okay was never needed. I don't need your permission. Let's get into it.
You're going to face as a woman, because women and men are going to face different battles. The women who don't tell you, it's because they don't like you. So when a mother doesn't tell her daughter, it's because she doesn't like her. Some mothers will purposefully not teach their daughters how to do their hair because their daughter has really pretty hair. Some moms will see that you got really nice hair and they'll either chop it off. I've seen that. I've seen some mothers, their daughter has beautiful hair and they just cut off all of their daughter's hair on purpose and say, oh, I'm cutting off your hair so it can be a lot more healthy. But in reality, she just doesn't like the beauty of her daughter's hair. She doesn't like the attention her daughter's hair gets. So she cuts off all of her daughter's hair. Okay, some women will not tell their daughters about men, about sex, about protecting themselves, using protection, STDs. They want no dealings with their daughter. Their daughter is a bother. They feel like their daughter is annoying. So why would they add more to their work by engaging with you emotionally? A lot of mothers, it's like, hey, here's your food, here's your sandwich, go in your room and close the door. There are some daughters who have never sat on the dinner table with their mom because their mom doesn't allow them to. The mom doesn't want them around. So there are some daughters, they've only ever eaten in their bedroom. I've seen this stuff. I've seen it When I was a little girl, I saw it. And as I got older, I realized, who's going to hold these women accountable? Who are going to hold the women accountable that didn't like their daughters, didn't help their daughters understand life, set their daughters up for failure? Who's gonna hold these women accountable? Because we all know fathers get held accountable. Oh yeah. There is thousands of content dragging absentee fathers. And yes, they should be dragged. Yes, absentee fathers should be dragged because you put a seed in a woman's womb and you turned your back on her. So yeah, you're kind of trash. I hate to say it. You should be dragged. But toxic mothers, oh, they get away with it. Oh yeah, they get away with it. Because that's not really a subject that people talk about. They feel like, oh, you were a mom, you were there for your child, you took care of your child, you gave your child, a shelter, and they feel like the mother did their job. But the thing is, just because you're there practically, daughters need their mommies to be there emotionally. You can't just be there practically. That's not enough for a baby girl. A baby girl needs you to teach her about makeup, how to do her hair. She's going to need help with that. Guys, how to know if a guy's just wanting to use her for sex. Like, a baby girl needs a mommy who is going to teach her how to do her hair, teach her how to do her makeup, teach her how to curl her hair, wash her hair, teach her how to make food, teach her how to be a woman. A baby girl is going to need you to be present for that. But a lot of moms, after they had their baby girl, they're like, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm going to do my due diligence as a mother. I'm going to do the basics, but I don't want a relationship with you because I don't like you. Ladies, that's the silent part out loud. They just don't want to tell you, I don't really like you, right? But they can't really tell you that. But these mothers, their actions will show it. Women need guidance. Women need guidance. And when I see videos like that, like, men don't understand how the community of women operates at all. When a woman withholds information from her daughter or the younger women around her family or household or proximity, when the woman who's the elder, or even if a woman's not an elder, when you know information that can help save a woman's life, when you know information that can mentally prepare a woman for womanhood, and you don't share it, you are purposefully setting her up to fail. To fail. And yes, you're doing it on purpose. She's just a kid. She doesn't need to know that right now. Oh, no, I don't talk to my daughter about that stuff. Oh, no, I don't. And then you wonder why your daughter is confused with everything. Some women, their moms didn't teach them how to do their hair. Their aunts didn't teach them how to curl their hair. Their grandmas didn't teach them how to cook. Their moms didn't teach them about using a rubber. Like, they had no idea. And yes, women do this on purpose. That's why I look at those people, especially online. I look at content creators who sell women fantasies as the enemy of the divine feminine. You are an enemy of the divine feminine because you're not telling women the truth. You're not giving women the tools that they need to survive womanhood. You're giving them a lie. You're giving them fantasy. You're giving them dreams. And you're mad at me because what I'm saying doesn't sound good. You're mad at me because you're overly sensitive when I share the truth about women because it doesn't sound good. I'm preparing women for womanhood. I'm preparing them to survive in the world no matter how old they are. Majority of the information I'm giving you guys, I wasn't taught it. I had to learn it. I wasn't taught it because of a lot of the women. They're so male-centered that you want to know what it is? Here's the psychology behind it that I think. I think that some women don't tell their daughters about men or hygiene or hair care or beauty or life, because those women they don't like women. They don't like their daughter. So because they don't like their daughter, they deal with their daughter in a practical way. You want to know how you know a mom doesn't like her daughter like that? They deal with their daughter in a practical way, meaning food, shelter, school, that's it. Outside of that, they don't talk to you. They don't ask you about your life. They don't ask you about, do you have a boyfriend? Are you dating? Do you like a guy? Do you have a crush? You just got your period. Here's how you deal with that. They don't talk to them about sex. They don't talk to them about hair care. They don't talk to them about other women. They don't talk to them about jealousy. They don't talk to them about anything because they don't like them. I was thinking about that when I was in the shower. I was like, someone truly is riding for you. And someone is real and authentic when they tell you the truth to protect you. A lot of times when I talk about the behaviors of women say I hate women. They say I'm bitter. They say I'm demonic. They say I'm disgusting. They say all these crazy, nasty things about me, when in reality, I'm protecting women by letting them know about how majority of women operate. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to give women lies. I'm not here to paint a picture to women that, hey, every woman that you meet is automatically going to be an ally for you. I'm not teaching women that, because that is a lie. And when you teach women that, women are going to be opening up their gates, opening up their camp, opening up their life to women randomly without vetting them out. And as a result of that, they're going to get destroyed. But if they listen to my teachings, I'm not going to let that happen. This knowledge is not going to allow them to go through that. So as a matter of fact, when I'm done with this, if God ever tells me to wrap this up, I know that I made my contribution to the divine feminine and the divine masculine and the masses in general. I did my job. I came online and I used my platform to speak the truth. No matter who felt anything about it. That's what I came on here to do. That's what I did. And that's what I'm currently doing. You cannot lie to women and not prepare them for the world, not prepare them for womanhood. Male-centered women are too focused on their husbands. They're obsessed with their husbands. They forget that their daughter exists. Male-centered women don't want to deal with their daughters. They're always telling their daughters, go to your room, close the door. I remember growing up, going to like friends' houses and like other family members' houses. And I always remember the mom telling her, go in your room and close the door. Like I would hear that and it was so weird to me. Because in my household, my grandmother and my mother never told me, hey, go to your room and close the door. Like that was never a thing. If it's time to go to sleep, yeah. But I wasn't a bother to them. A lot of women, they were a bother to their...
Because something is right with you, that's why you're getting attacked a lot. God speaks to us through people, through dreams, through scenarios, through feelings that we get, our discernment, showing up. You got to take God serious. You got to keep God at the center of your life at all times. I'm going to walk away from God because of these experiences that I've had.
Mom, they were a bother to their grandma. They were a bother to their aunts. So they didn't teach you about anything. I remember when women, aunts and friends of my mother, my grandmother, they would all sit on the table and talk about men, their history with men, their experiences with men, what they learned about men and love and marriage. And I would sit there and let's say someone says, oh, well, do you think Mel is too young to hear this conversation? My grandma would say, oh, no, let her sit there. She doesn't have to interject because she's a kid. And, island family, kids don't involve themselves in grown folks' business. But let her sit there. My grandma would say, let her hear. She needs to know. She's just 5, but let her hear. She needs to know because she needs to know this stuff. My grandma was a huge contributor to the divine feminine in my life, the divine feminine seed in my life, because my grandmother made sure that I was prepared for womanhood in regards to how I deal with men and how I deal with women. A lot of women who don't value women, and yes, you can be a woman and you don't value women, you don't like women, you don't care for the divine feminine, you don't feel like you have a responsibility as a woman to the divine feminine. Those type of women, they don't prepare women for reality.
That's why you guys know how I feel about the hypergamy content. I get, and I do believe in hypergamy, but I don't believe in telling women to get dressed up and go sit in places and wait for a man to appear, to take full domination over their life. I think that's dangerous. I think that you're putting women in harm's way. That's how women end up in the hands of predators. I encourage women to build a life that they desire from the ground up. That's just how, because I think that's better for them. That's safer for them. And the right man will match that above and beyond. I teach women to take care of themselves, no matter how old you are, young or old. You're responsible to build the beautiful life that you desire. And it's mothers, aunts, and older women in the family that don't tell women, this is what womanhood is. This is what you're going to experience. This is what your dealings with men will possibly look out. Be on the lookout for men when it comes to this. Be on the lookout for women when it comes to that. Women who are kumbaya, and they don't tell women that, guess what? Not all, but a lot of women have a jealousy problem, and you really got to be on the lookout for that. Those women that don't say that because it doesn't sound good, they're lying to you. They're setting you up for failure. They don't love you. They don't care about you. They don't honor the divine feminine, because if they did, they would warn you and they would give you the tools that you need as a woman to be better at womanhood. Hygiene. Many women still don't know how to do their own hair because they weren't taught. These are the moms that would wrap their daughter's hair in a shoelace. Didn't comb it, didn't do it, didn't care. Like, some women are just annoyed at their daughter's presence, and it's scary. And to the moms that are good moms to your daughters, this sounds foreign to you, but I'm telling you, I've seen it. There are some women, the presence of their daughter, they take a deep breath every time their daughter comes in the room. They cannot stand the sight of their child. That is a very wounded woman. The mom is wounded, who can't stand the daughter, and the daughter is wounded because imagine how it feels as a woman to grow up knowing that your mom doesn't like you. Imagine what that makes you feel like. Imagine how that destroys your confidence. Nothing destroys a woman's confidence more than having a mother that hated her. We will talk about the mother wound. Wounded December 7th, 7 p.m. EST on Zoom. The mother wound cuts deep. It cuts women to their core of their heart. That is one of the most difficult wounds for men. The biggest wound that men and women will face is the mother wound. And after the mother wound, the father wound comes in next. Men who have a mother wound, oh my God, they will rarely ever be able to connect with a woman on a deep level. Those men are so guarded. Their hearts are guarded in stone. Men who have a mother wound are so detached from falling in love with a woman. Their hearts are in stone. And I always tell men, you have to work on that. Because every good woman that comes in your life, you're going to reject her. Because of what your mom did to you, you're going to reject her. And the minute you see how much she really likes you, you're going to get rid of her. Men have mother wounds too. And it destroys their ability to meet a good partner. They're always going to settle for the woman who's abusive towards him, or mean, or nasty, or doesn't care about him. Or he's going to get the good girl, but he's going to abuse her because he can't accept love. He doesn't know how to. The mother wound it gets nasty. It gets nasty. December 7th, Wounded. This is going to be a phenomenal masterclass. This is a very spiritual class. The wounds that you have in your life that you cannot see, okay? All of the pain, the scratches, the wounds that you are carrying externally affects you. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to take responsibility for ourselves. It's not just paying bills and going to school and putting gas in our car. Whatever wound that you have internally, whether it's a rejection wound, you've been rejected a lot by people, that affects your ability to socialize. If you have a mother wound, it's hard for you to connect with women. You have a father wound. It's hard for you to connect with men. You have a spiritual wound. It's hard for you to connect with your deeper self, with God. There are so many wounds that people have that they don't even realize it's there, and it's affecting your progress. It's affecting your money. It's affecting your ambition. It's affecting your passion. This class, we are going to go through every single type of wound that I personally feel like shows up in people's lives often. And we are also going to dissect how to keep those wounds from destroying our progression, and also how to heal them over time and maintain the way these wounds affect our lives on a deeper level. Wounded, December 7th, 2025. Be there, be square. Divine Feminine. Oh my God. December 14th. I'm very excited about this. I am. I love talking about the feminine. We talked about weaponize your masculinity, but now we're gonna close out the year with the divine feminine. This class is going to be wonderful for all you ladies who just want to be empowered again. You want to learn about feminine history. Oh yeah, this class is going to highlight some of the world-changing women who fought for us as women to be able to have the opportunities that we have today. This class will definitely touch on some glamour as well. Okay, everybody getting all glammed up. And this class is also going to touch on the spiritual connotations and the spiritual power that we have as women. Women are portals, as I always talk about. So this is going to touch on our internal power, our womb power, womb cleansing. We are going to do it all in this class. December 14th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Be there or be square. Looking forward to you guys signing.
My mother started to panic. They're like, we need to call 911. Something is wrong. Doctor told my mother, it looks like your baby may unfortunately be a victim of SIDS. God is full of surprises, but good surprises. Major encounter with God in my life. That was the Holy Spirit warning me and giving me signals about a warfare that was. He's never going to lead you in a path that is going to end in your demise. No way. It's important to keep pushing, keep praying, and keep believing, even when you don't see a way out. And because something is right with you, that's why you're getting attacked a lot. God speaks to us through people, through dreams, through scenarios, through feelings that we get, our discernment showing up. You got to take God serious. You got to keep God at the center of your life at all times. I'm going to walk away from God because of these experiences that I've had.